All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So we're going to do a quick view at the crypto stocks. There's four of them I want to look at. We're going to look at WULF and HUT together, and then we'll look at Marathon and RIOT together. All right, and then in between all that, I'll kind of flash the Bitcoin charts as well. But man, WULF and HUT have been a fantastic example of why I love the 8 and 20 moving average. All right, I'm never here pretending that this is the best 5 moving average stack. All right, I actually have a slightly different variation on the 1 and the 2. You know, like it's important to use blah blah blah. I'm not gonna go. That's a whole nother video, right? But man, I love these two for sure. And all you do is you bounce, maybe lose it, don't confirm. Oh man, we lost it, but hey, look, the 8 just bounces us right back up, right? And again, you see that on WULF, you see that on HUT, just bouncing and bouncing and bouncing and bouncing, losing, but bouncing back up. Like these are the stock's two best friends when it's on the good side, and then you see it's just this impossibility to get over one, and then the other one just slaps you right back. It's literally the inverse, right? So when those two lines are good, oh man, life is good. When they're not, clearly they're not, all right? So these two, I think, are easily lumped together. And then Marathon's been really interesting. I swear, these 4 candles, the Monday through Thursday, really, you can probably even include Friday, but I feel like I can make a 40-minute video on these 5 candles. It is crazy to me that we're going to break all 5, confirm, get a crazy doji, horrible day after the doji, and then lo and behold still actually bounce on the 8. Like, this is an incredible anomaly. I'm a little excited to like nerd out on that a little bit. I'm not going to do 40 minutes on that, I swear, but oh man, that is a crazy combination, especially for a guy that's not a candle trader, right? Like, I only know a little bit about like candle shape trading stuff, and oof, that's not one I would have expected right there, all right? And then RIOT, there we go. Kind of the same pattern and a little bit of a battle with the 200 moving average. So again, I think it makes sense to bundle the first 2, bundle the second 2, and like I said, I'll flash the Bitcoin charts more than likely a little bit closer to the end. But yeah, before we do go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can, please subscribe to this channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad if you disagree. Look, anything you can do helps so much with these YouTube algorithms, but for real, just being here and giving me your time, oh, I am so grateful for it, all right? So this WULF chart, and really, again, the same things I say with WULF really are echoed across this HUT chart, all right? Once you break all 5 moving averages, again, it's one of my favorite rhymes. It's probably top 2 or 3. You either break all 5 and you fly, break all 5 and fly, or let's find a bad one. Oh, this is a bad one. Or you lose all 5, and you just die, right? And we are seemingly at a place where we have made a 2x run since we've broken all the moving averages, right? As I look into WULF, again, same basic story, but a lot better, right? Roughly speaking, you can say it was around 250 when we broke and confirmed. We're sitting at a peak of 6, around 560 right now, right? So that to me is what break all 5 and fly looks like. Beautiful, all right? I've mentioned it a bunch of times, and again, I'm not going to look at Bitcoin too much on these, but since June, these two have been going up, but since June, Bitcoin's been going down. And it was always an anomaly to me that these two are going up. There was an article that was shared in the Chart Readers Discord, and I'm not going to try to hunt for it, but there was an article that someone shared about a number of crypto stocks that are also starting to dabble in the AI sector. And I'll be honest, I didn't really read it, but I like that headline. I don't know if they're using AI to like mine better. I don't know if they're actually literally making a separate division, one that focuses on Bitcoin mining and one that focuses on some sort of area of, excuse me, of AI. I really probably should do a little bit more of my homework. I'll share the article in the YouTube link as well in the comments, but I love AI. All right, I can't stress that enough. To me, AI is this is just the beginning of it, right? So you somehow hitch your wagon to the AI train, and that's not going to be a bad thing, right? So that was maybe some reason to justify it. Look, I'm never here to justify anything, all right? Whether it's going up or down. I never blame manipulation or short attack when it's going down. I never question the reasoning when it's going up. What I do use is the moving averages, all right? And again, if you can break all five, I'm expecting you to fly. And as you fly, you go up, you use the 8. You go up, you use the 8. You go up, you use the 8 and the 20 sometimes. You go up, right? We're going to go back to HUT, and I'm going to go back a little bit more into the details. But again, you break all five, and you just start bouncing and bouncing and bouncing and bouncing. And uh-oh, I've slipped. But hey, my good friend, the 20's right there. And let's shoot on back up, and let's hopefully keep on bouncing, right? When the 8 and the 20 are your friend, life is easy, especially when you've broken them all, right? Like, oh my goodness, okay? Couple things that I really see jumping out. This is definitely one candle under the 8. This is a scarier fall down to the 20, right? Here, hey, it's not actually that bad. Look, again, I don't want to lose them, don't get me wrong, but I would much rather lose the 8 when the 20 is right next door than when it's across the street or down the state. You know what I'm saying, right? So the distance between the 8 and the 20 matters more, but hey, more than anything, this actually doesn't even go under. So this is actually kind of, well, okay. Regardless, let's just visually look at it, right? Like, let's just pretend that this closed right here. One candle under the 8 is never enough, right? You need confirmation. I need confirmation up. I need confirmation down. And looky, 8 never lets go. And again, hey, if we're going to have two bad ones and lose the 8, I'm glad the 20 was right there to catch it, right? So it would have been scary if we lost the 20 and started wondering for the confirmation, right? That same little next door to across the street comment I made earlier. But again, 8 and the 20 are powerful, powerful lines. Again, especially over them all. And I say that on Wolf. I say that on HUT. I say that on every single stock that I cover, right? Use the 8 and the 20 to guide the movements. I am not here pretending that these are the best lines in the world. I am not here pretending that this is I've actually called this whole thing a pretty beginner's stack. You know what I mean? You've seen how powerful it is in the right hands, and the right hands isn't just me, it's us, right? It's the chart readers team, right? But yeah, it's a beautiful thing, right? So what are we looking at now? You know, now I kind of want to look at Bitcoin a little bit. Again, these have been going pretty independent from Bitcoin, but if those were going up when this was going down, imagine what it'll do if this keeps going up, right? And I for sure got this wrong. I always stress, don't just blindly agree with me. I'm just some dude on the internet, right? I assumed instead of waited for confirmation. That's a scary candle under the line. That's not confirmation. That's a scary candle under the line. That's not confirmation. And that's getting back over the 8 moving average and using the 8 as well as a very, very important and powerful 200, right? And a lot of reasons why I got it wrong was actually the weekly. I saw a weekly confirm twice. I saw a weekly as low as 30, and I think I assumed it was going to go down instead of telling myself, dude, RSI is textbook 80-30. This is the first time we've ever been this low. You got to give the textbook some credit, right? So I got it wrong. I am for sure calling out Zeus God. Zeus God, I am so glad you disagreed with me so much on the Discord. So again, it's a beautiful thing. I literally just said it. Give me a sec. It's a beautiful thing when people disagree, right? Like, one of us is going to be right. For sure, one of us is going to have to be wrong. That's how it works. But hey, both of us are going to learn. And hey, both of us hopefully get it right the next time, right? So, I let the weekly mess up my Bitcoin assumptions. And lo and behold, but again, the point of this really is, look, We are trying to break all 5. We are trying to break all 5. We're watching the 8 moving average work its way on up and help us. Like, it's the same thing we were just seeing on the other ones, right? That's a very healthy 67. Do I think we're going to break this? I don't know. But again, if the weekly just went down to 30 and wants to make its way back on up into the 70s or 80s, oof, there's a shot that, hey, maybe we can actually peek on over that, right? I think a really, really important line coming up is going to be 69.9. 69,900. You can see it's basically flat, right, in $6, right? 69,900 needs to break. And then we're going to start. This is obviously my all-time highs thinking. Clearly, there are wicks over it. So, right, it's not like it's the super highest before. But to me, this is the number that probably matters a lot more, that 71.5. If you want to think up, 69.9 is probably going to dictate whether all-time highs is realistic or not. All right, so keep that in your back pocket with Bitcoin. And again, if those keep going, Wolf is only at a 61 RSI. HUT is only at a 64 RSI. I haven't even looked at the weeklies yet. HUT is on the border of breaking all the moving averages on the weekly. Wolf has already done that and is also flying on the weekly, let alone the daily, right? When the daily breaks all and flies, and the weekly breaks all and flies, oh my gosh, right? It's a beautiful thing when you're getting the same signals from different charts. It's a beautiful thing when you're in the Chart Readers Discord and all of a sudden Xmas Holiday is talking about these Elliott wave things that I have no idea, right? And like, look at these charts. Like, look at these. I have no idea. I have no idea what any of this. He might as well be speaking in Korean. I'm telling you, I have no idea what a lot of it is, but I like seeing it, right? I like seeing when, and look, we're sharing other, blah, blah, blah. I'm going out on different, blah, blah, blah. My apologies. It is good to get multiple good signals from a bunch of places, whether it's multiple charts on the same analysis, whether it's completely different technicals, right? And oh man, it's a beautiful thing. I think I've said enough here. These look great. They really, really do. As long as they hold the 8 and the 20, what else am I supposed to do but expect good things, right? So MACD's positive. We talked about the RSIs being healthy. Just give me some volume and you know, what's going to stop it, right? So do I have more lines up? Dude, look at that. 825 is the next line. We'll keep that there for Wolf. And then on HUT needs a new line. HUT's line's probably going to be somewhere right in that chunk. Let's go right here. Let's go with that. Roughly speaking, I was trying to take half of that green candle. Looks like we're at a good plateau right there. Looks like it's a couple halves. That's not a bad line. I think that's maybe a little high, but let's just leave that right there. I would keep 20. All right, so we'll call it 22, 27. Maybe don't have $32 dreams just yet. This is still a sub 20. Let's go with 22 and 27, even though I didn't draw that 27 line. I like these. One last time. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. I think I said opinions really weird right there. Let's come into Marathon, all right? Marathon has been quite an interesting chart. Truth be told, I lost a good amount of money in this little moment because I never waited for confirmation. It is what it is, right? When I look at RIOT, a lot of, I would say worse, but a lot of the same if you really look at it too, right? So I'm going to talk about both of these a little bit in the same token. I would say RIOT's 5 moving averages were a lot more spaced out than Marathon's, right? I think that's you know, it's tight 4 there and a single one there, but really break all 5 and go has been the attempt, and the recent move on RIOT trying to just get over to the top ones. And again, we're talking about the battle right there, right? So similar charts, that's why I'm grouping these together. Really quickly, if you can subscribe, if you can share, it does wonders with the algorithm. So yeah, there is some interesting things going on those 4 days, all right? So that's a monster candle right there. This actual Friday the 12th is a good single candle that breaks 4 out of the 5 moving averages. The Monday, the next candle gaps up, opens right here and runs all the way to there. I would call this confirmation. And then again, you get one more. You can, I mean, this to me is a monster 3 days. And as we hit that third day, our RSI is still a very, very, like 75 is not low. I'm not pretending that's a low number, but we got room to go to 80. We should have had another good day. We actually really should have. I am a little shocked that we got this doji. And we got a doji that thought we should fly all the way up, that thought we should come all the way down and said, you know what, we're just going to kind of end it. Like, this isn't, like, the doji is uncertainty, right? Some people thought, like I just said, fly, die, let's just wait. And one thing I always say is the day after the doji is very, very telling. And that's a very, very bad and a very, very telling candle. And then to recover and hold the, like, this is crazy to me. I actually said it was just these 5. It really is these 6. You have a good candle, a confirmation, a go, a out of the blue doji, a horrible doji answer, but still a possible recovery. I wish we got just a little higher. I wish we got, and you can see we actually wicked it, right? One thing I always talk about is you kind of want to get, roughly speaking, half of the biggest candle to the left. We couldn't quite do it. We tried to, but we ended obviously down here. I'm glad we took back the Monday, right? We're clearly higher than the Monday candle, but this is going to be a pretty important line for Marathon. I think that, and again, let's look at RIOT before I go into the Bitcoin. That's a good candle. That's a good candle. That's a good candle. This makes more sense. Okay, what's the difference? This breaks 2 moving averages. This breaks 1 moving average. This breaks 1 moving average. Though each confirm, like this last one still needed a confirmation. I needed something to confirm RIOT broke the 200. This said not just yet. This said no. This makes sense to me because the 8 caught it and actually the 100 bounced. Marathon did not do that. Marathon tried to break all, confirmed it broke all, started running. Out of the blue, someone said, I don't know. Let me see what tomorrow says. Tomorrow said something weird. It decided to hold. Like, it's the same basic move, but the moving averages are significantly different. And the same moves make sense here, but not Marathon. I hope that made sense. If it didn't, shoot me some questions. I'm telling you, this one right here, I'm going to make this a knowledge center video. This was a very weird setup on Marathon, a very logical setup on RIOT. It was essentially the same candles, which is very, very hilarious. All right. Let's now talk about Bitcoin a little bit and how it looks on these, right? So again, we talked about June on the last 2. I don't know if you watched it or not, but this stays completely flat. Wolf goes completely up. HUT goes completely up. RIOT, you can say, I did that again. RIOT, you can say goes down to flat, right? Whatever you're loosely going to call it, because we're flat, little up, little down, right? That might have averaged to just flat, but we're doing the opposite of Bitcoin really on both, right? Bitcoin drops, not flat by any means. So I think the fact that RIOT and Marathon stayed flat is actually relatively bullish versus this downtrend here. Same Wolf comments. If this is actually going to break and go, it's only going to help it. And look, you can literally see that same 6-day setup on Bitcoin. Again, it makes more sense here. It makes sense on RIOT. It looked so weird on Marathon. But I think, again, this is probably the connection and the reasoning there, all right? So that's a healthy 67. That's, again, a positive MACD. It's a good divergence on the MACD and the RSI. I don't know why this doesn't capture volume, but again, that's kind of irrelevant, I think, on a what essentially is an indice, right? Like, I'm essentially using Bitcoin as the NASDAQ or as the S&P 500. I'm using it as the index to decide what I want to do with the little tickers that I share, that I'm going to trade, right? So Marathon, watch it run, this will run, watch it reject, and it will probably reject, right? So I think the lowest this will probably go is the 20 moving average. It looks like the 20 is making its way on up. So I think this is a good line. I'm not going to draw it, but I don't think we're going to go any lower than 22. I'm basically clicking at 2190 right now if you're not looking at the screen. I like this 2250 though, because for now, I'm going to actually think to myself the 8 moving average is going to do well, because it did well for Wolf, it did well for Hut. Hey, maybe the sector will finally follow those two, and maybe it'll do well for Marathon and for Riot, all right? So, yeah, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. Hey, I appreciate you so, so much.